It's about time for a check-in. I've got a really cool video coming up, but it's gonna be a little longer before that's actually finished and out. And I wanted you guys to see what's going on and where I'm at right now. I've done a lot of cool things since the last video you saw, so I'm gonna actually shrink down and do a little like picture-in-picture type of thing while you check out one of the piers I was driving down a week ago or so. All right, Burbo's a little dirty. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Got our solar out over here, chilling up in the park. Palm trees, mountains, houses. So today is December 1st, 2023. I departed on October 4th, 2023. So just a couple days shy of 2 months now. Made it out to Palm Springs, hung out for 11 days, kind of figuring everything out. And, you know, it wasn't a bad place, but it wasn't right for what I want to do. There was nowhere cool to like park in a nice area and have good views and be creative and edit, and that's a big part of what I want to do. You know, I need to be able to do that reasonably close to somewhere I can actually come and generate an income as well, because I left without an income and without any money saved up. So, you know, we're rolling the dice a little bit, so I've got to do what I have to do to make sure I can keep this thing going. It was starting to become a pretty urgent issue that I needed to start making money, and it was time to just make something happen. So I'm the company I'm currently with, doing part-time work, you know, in food service industry, tip jobs. They take a lot better care of you out on the West Coast. Your hourly rate is, I think, 8 times more, literally, plus better tips. So I was able to transfer with the company I was working with part-time back home and start working immediately if I went to a place where they were at. I looked them up online, and, you know, kind of my ultimate goal was to check out Santa Barbara for a while. And there was a place, it's still 100 miles away, but in the same region, in San Luis Obispo, that had the same company I was working with there. It's 5-6 miles from the coast. There's Bureau of Land Management, trails, land and camping nearby. There's not a heavy population, but there's still a college town here. There's money to be made, but it's not out of control, big and densely visited or have, you know, it's a good spot. I came out this way, started working, found some good areas to be able to travel around and camp out and edit creatively, and, you know, where the showers are. My gym is fortunately here, so I was able to not transfer my membership, but just use my membership at the gym here. You know, a lot of things just fell into place. One of the reasons I'm holding off on putting out the cool video that I've edited so far about the story, you know, what transpired and how I ended up in San Luis Obispo. But part of that story is the drone crashing somewhere, I think into the Pacific Ocean. I don't know, I lost contact with it and never saw it again. This is an important enough story to me to be able to look back on, as well as to, you know, tell a really good and visually appealing story to you. So I wanted to make sure to have another drone and get some images of the area that I landed at, my final destination of this cross-country journey without a real plan, you know, just a general direction and a arbitrary time that I stuck to. So when I get that drone in, I'll get some more shots around, and it'll really help paint the picture of what's going on here. That was a pretty big hit, losing the drone the morning after I landed on the West Coast. You know, woke up to sirens waking me up, telling me not to camp on the shoulder I was sleeping in. I was in Malibu. That's where the drone ended up, right in the kind of between Malibu and Santa Barbara. I don't know which one you'd call it because I'm not from there. After that, you know, I spent a couple hours. I got a memory card for my GoPro so I could, because I lost the one compatible with it in the drone, got the memory card, hit the road, and I did get some shots to really help tell the story of traveling with it. And then I arrived in San Luis Obispo. I'm trying to remember now. Did I come into town? I drove into town at nighttime, and I found probably my favorite spot to park on the first night using the OnX off-road app. So came in, got a great campsite, woke up to this beautiful view, not even knowing for another day or two that at that campsite, a couple miles in each direction, were beautiful views of the coast, you know, because there were clouds below me that I was above, and I had blue skies above me. It was a pretty cool spot that I found. So got that dialed, did the interview the next day to make sure that they were happy, you know, comfortable with transferring me in. So I arrived on Monday. I started working on Wednesday. You know, it's a tip job, so I started putting cash in my pocket on day one, which was nice because, you know, like I said, I left without savings for this, and I just had decided this is what I'm going to do, this is when I'm going to do it, I'm going to figure it out and do whatever it takes to make it work. And, you know, I ended up out here needing to start making money quick, and I'm glad I was able to do something good that makes me reasonable money, because, you know, worst comes to worst, go to a temp agency and just, you know, show up at 4 or 5 in the morning with some work boots and get ready to go do some cheap manual labor. And, you know, if that's what I had to do, that's what I had to do. That's the whole thing about taking a journey like this. Made it out here, got work dialed in, got good spots to camp out, started editing. I put a whole bunch of videos out, you know, since I got on the road. It's amazing how much time they take. I mean, if I was tracking it, you know, it'd be hard to quantify. Hundreds of hours since I left just editing. So I've gotten a lot of videos out, but I haven't gotten out the video of my arrival here in California yet. So, you know, as I got here, things start getting dialed in. I start making some money. You know, I was fairly far behind, made all my payments, but it was real close. The day that I'm like, okay, from this point on, I've got breathing space, I can put money in the bank, I can knock some debts out fairly quick, I can start to get things really dialed and in order. And I was able to work 20, 25 hours a week, so I'm making about $40 an hour, and I have no rent right now. I was able to start getting my financial situation squared away while still having plenty of capacity to focus on editing videos, shooting and editing. Pretty much the moment I get that dialed in, I'm driving, coming back from Avila Beach that day, 7 miles away, and I'm just driving, and I go to pull onto the highway, and the engine revs up, wasn't in gear, you know, let off the gas, it gets in gear, it drives fine, you know, and I put the pedal down, same thing, revs up like to the red line. And yeah, I don't know if you guys remember a few videos back, probably hasn't even been 6 months since I put a brand new engine in this vehicle, and I haven't paid that off yet. So I was sure hoping to get a little bit more life out of it before the next big hit. And it hit me at a moment right when I was like, everything had fallen together, everything was feeling real good, I could see the path for everything well. And, you know, when you hear the story, people that have been through some stuff are like, dude, I ain't bad at all. You know, I've been through some stuff too. No, it's not. You know, I'm grateful that I'm here, that everything has worked out, that I've got income, and it's really easy for me to take on more hours. The second I figured out I needed a new transmission, I took 3 more shifts that week that made, you know, $500-600 more easily. You know, and I'm still not even really doing full-time hours. I've still got time to edit, although it's definitely putting a dent in my energy and time right now, but this too shall pass. You know, this is just, if you want to do something interesting and challenging and create a path because there wasn't one to follow, and especially if you do it on a shoestring budget or no budget at all, you're gonna hit a few challenges. This vehicle's got 179,000 miles on it. You can't expect the transmission to last forever, even though I just had serviced it. It hits hard. It's gonna be about $5,000. I'm real grateful that I have a little side work that I make about $500 a month extra. One of my long-term clients is Big Dog Motorcycles, and I'm still doing work for them, so that additional money on top of what I'm doing at the restaurant really is going to help me get past this transmission situation in 2 to 4 months, just depending on how much I can really focus on this. And I want to make sure that I don't get in a situation where I'm not putting any energy or time into my videos at all, because that's the whole reason I'm out here. You know, and I kind of got sucked into that life just surviving back in Colorado in the mountains. You know, went out there super hype, and before you know it, you're just struggling to get by. You know, I created a challenging situation for myself by breaking my ankle in 7 places and losing my ability to work. So, you know, it kind of feels like I take these risks and I end up in parallel situations, but this time I've got a lot more, you know, a lot more grit. I've got more vision to somewhere I'm going. You know, I've got a mission I'm on. I'm still clarifying it. I'm still deciphering it and creating it, but I'm going somewhere with all of this. And when something like this happens, I'm sure everybody's got their point where maybe too much is too much, but I don't think we really, most of us know what that point is if we toughen up and handle it when things hit us. I've been through some real gnarly challenges in life, and at the same time I recognize that in my roughest moments were a vacation to a huge amount of people in the world. When something that seems really bad happens, this one in the grand scheme of things, this is substantial. This is going to change the direction of my life for a little while. But life is freaking good. I never want to use this, but I always can. You know, when things got real rough for me in the mountains, I didn't run home to get rescued. But I did a few years later when housing became unavailable and it was time to refocus. But it's nice to know that I do have a safety net, even though I hope to not have to utilize that out of necessity, because a whole lot of people in the world don't, you know. And I really think it's important that I approach life as if I don't, you know, having that comfort to know that I do have family support and somewhere, albeit thousands of miles away and challenging to get back to, especially if dealing with mechanical issues. There are people that are in such more desperate situations than the worst, some of the worst that could come up for me, knock on something. When I think back about where I was a year ago and where I was a year before that, I realize how amazingly blessed I am. In the heart of this fairly challenging circumstance that's going to take some real hours out of my life to rectify, I have nothing but gratitude. You know, I think it's a lesson that we pretty much have to develop that gratitude through some challenges in life. I think we have to develop, you know, our strengths and capabilities through challenges. I recognize that anything that I've done that hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to is a step in building the situation that's going to work out and the man that's going to create and work through that situation. As long as I keep moving forward in a direction to utilize, you know, all of the lessons I've learned, all the challenges I've gone through, all the strength that I've built. This is just time to get to work for a little while. I really need to be focusing on my reels and shorts anyways, so as I'm working more on dealing with this transmission situation, it's a time for me to really think about how I'm going to approach this for a little while, because I've got amazing videos, I've got an amazing story out there. The arrival video in California, I mean, my content's better than a whole lot of stuff out there, but I haven't really built a relationship with my audience yet. Not that many people are seeing it. I do shorts and reels, people will start to see more of my content, and hopefully, you know, all the hundreds and cumulative thousands of hours I put into this stuff throughout my life over the last couple decades, stuff that's all going to come in bits and pieces here and there, will actually be seen, you know, because that's a bummer when you put so much passion and creativity and time and energy into something and then it doesn't go anywhere. Man, life is good. Sun's going down now, so what a great time to start wrapping this up. Man, it's so early. You know, this is just these bumps in the road happen, and this one I'm completely equipped to handle, and it sucks, and I value my hours and hate trading them for dollars, especially for something that a week ago I didn't even need or know was going to be a problem. It's a lot to swallow, but I'm on a really cool path, and I'm going to keep moving forward. And this challenge here is it's just meant for me to help build my character, to help practice the virtue that I want, to focus on the real things that are important, and not allow something that, you know, at a moment that I'm so terribly blessed, to bring me down. Thanks for coming along on the journey with me, guys. You know, if you haven't subscribed yet, it would mean the world to me. My real goal and dream is to turn this into a full-time career pursuit, you know, of adventure, kindness, and wellness. And I really would like to help influence the world in a positive way, grow this thing to where it becomes a valuable enough and powerful enough resource for me to be able to actually, you know, bring more kindness into the world in whatever creative ways we can figure out to do. So I'd like it if you guys subscribe, you know, like this video, check out some of my other stuff on the channel, especially the adventure videos. Give them a share if you think they're cool, and come along with me as we kind of enjoy this mission together, trying to turn this channel into something real and have an awesome and happy and healthy life.